All right, guys, we are on part 3 now, cost of the school. So you've chosen your career, which we said was, for the sake of this video, a veterinarian. So we want to go to Texas A&M University, which was top of the list for veterinarian science. Now we're going to go figure out how much does Texas A&M going to cost us by the time we're ready to go to school in 2021. So we are going to click on this link here. Oh, well, I'm going to click on this link here. Unfortunately, you guys are going to have to type it in. Be careful when you type in this link. The very last digit needs to be a 0, not an O. 0 doesn't take you to a pleasant site. O takes you to a not pleasant site. Make sure you put in 0. So when we put in 0, this is the website that pops up. We're going to scroll down. You may have to download the newest version of Flash Player if your computer is not up to date. Texas A&M is a public school. Some examples of some private four-year universities would be like Baylor University, St. Edward's, St. Thomas, Rice University here in town is an excellent private school. But we're going to public school in the state of Texas because we do not want to pay out-of-state tuition. And then we're going to come down to College Station for Texas A&M. And then what this table is giving us is the amount it cost to go to Texas A&M between 1999 and 2010. And we're going to use that information to come up with a linear regression. In other words, a model, a line that would model this data to predict how much it's going to cost when we go to school 4 years from now. So when we put our mouse over the bar for 1999, you see it pops up. And in that little pop-up box, it says tuition and fees $41.55. So I'm going to come over to my answer document, and I'm going to come to this table where it says cost of school. I've already put it in there. It's $41.55 for the first year, $41.81 for the second year. For the sake of time, I've already put these all in there. But going back here, just another thing to point out is if you are staying in Texas, you get to use that top tuition and fees number, so $41.55, $41.81. However, if you choose a school outside of Texas, you're going to have to do out-of-state tuition. So anything other than Texas, you got to do out-of-state tuition. For example, if someone living in Louisiana, say, wants to come to Texas A&M, they're going to have to pay $12,173. They don't get to pay the $4,000 in-state tuition. So we have gone on, or I've already gone on and clicked on all of these, and I've inserted them into my table. If you're in school, raise your hand. I'd be happy to help you plug it into the Inspire and show you how to do the regression. But if you're not in school, that lovely little site that we used to visit in class, Desmos.com, they have linear regression now as well. So what I did was I made a table, and I copied and pasted it in here. So I just copied it from here and pasted it in. You're not going to have that option, actually, now that I think about it. So what you want to do is come down, or come up here where it says add, and you want to add a table. The table is going to pop up, and you're going to have to hand input all your data. Notice I don't have 1999, 2000, 2001. That's year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had something like that. So here's our data over here. They've already fit it to meet our numbers. Look how it is rising, but it is rising kind of at a linear pace. So we want to check that out. We're going to do a linear regression. You're going to do Y1. Just type in Y1. And then you're going to, instead of doing equal sign, you're going to do a tilde. Tilde is right next to the 1 on your keyboard. You're going to have to hit Shift and the button just left of 1 on your keyboard to get that tilde. And then A, and then X1, and then plus B. And notice over here it's already popped up your line of regression. Let's hide the keyboard so we can see this. It's pretty close, 0.97. That's a pretty good correlation. Some of the numbers are a little bit off, but not too bad. A is the same thing. I guess I should probably, since we're not used to calling it A, we call it M, don't we? So M is our slope. So the slope for my function here would be 427. And then my y-intercept is going to be 3729. So when I come back over here, we said that's a linear equation. And then I'm going to type in my equation. Y equals 427x plus 3729. Your number is going to be different, obviously, because you are not choosing, or you may be choosing Texas A&M, but you may not. Keep in mind, I said in class, when we come to this next page, we want to start predicting how much is our school going to cost in the years to come. I messed up on our table. This should be this should be 22 to 23, 23 to 24. So hopefully you've updated yours. Just scratch it out, 25 to 26. And then 26 to 27. It's just, if you were to take a year off and go like plug around Europe or something, or maybe work for a year before you decide to go into your 4-year university. All right, so if we go immediately, that would be in 2021. That is 23 years past this 1999 data. So what I want to do on my calculator is you can do it on the same page if you want to. I'm going to plug in for 23 years. So remember, my equation was y equals 427x plus 3729. That was the line that they gave me. It's the same line that's there now. And the first number I want to predict is, what if it's 427 times 23 years plus 379? That would be 13,550. So I'm going to come over to my table and put in 13,550. That's how much it's going to cost you to go to A&M when you graduate and go to school in 2021. If I want the next year, I'm going to change my number from 23. Now it's going to be 24 years from 1999. That's 13,977. Notice that's the same year that this table starts, so I can just copy it over. And then to figure out the rest of my table, this would be after 25 years, goes here and here. The amount at 26 years goes here and here. 27 years goes in this box. Once you have all these boxes filled, you're going to add them up. You're going to put your 4-year total for going immediately, your 4-year total of going if you decide to take a gap year, and then you're going to decide, should you take a gap year? Is it worth it to you to spend that much more money to go to school after a year? And that's totally your own personal choice. So that is it for part 2 of your cost of education. Sorry, not part 2. We're on part 3 of cost of education. And the next one, we're going to start talking about how much are we going to get to take home once we graduate.